Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own life? Like you're playing a part you never auditioned for?
Ow!
You wake up, you follow the script, the job, the relationships, the person you're supposed to be, but underneath the costume, there's a quiet, persistent ache. It's a feeling that the real you is trapped somewhere deep inside, behind layers of shoulds and have-tos and what will they thinks. You feel it in the dead of night, don't you? When the world is quiet and the only sound is your own breathing, a pull in two directions at once. One part of you craves security, predictability, the safe harbor. The other yearns for a vast unknown ocean. And this conflict, this tearing, feels like a fundamental flaw. A secret shame you carry that you are somehow broken, misaligned, perpetually out of tune with yourself. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are simply feeling the pull of your own forgotten center. You are feeling the stirring of your Qalb. In the language of the mystics, the poets, and the ancient seekers of truth, there is a word that goes far beyond the biological pump in our chest. The word is Qalb. It's an Arabic word, and to translate it as simply heart is to capture only a shadow of its meaning. The Qalb is the seat of our consciousness, the crucible of our emotions, the battlefield of our desires, and the very core of our spiritual intelligence. The great 11th century philosopher Al-Ghazali described it not as a static thing, but as something in a constant state of flux, of turning. In fact, the root of the word Qalb means to turn over, to fluctuate. Does that sound familiar? That constant turning? That inner volatility? We spend our modern lives trying to suppress this. We seek stability, want our feelings to be neat, predictable, manageable. We label them happy, sad, anxious. We try to medicate the bad ones and cling desperately to the good ones. We treat our inner world like an unruly employee that needs to be managed into productivity. But what if this fluctuation isn't a bug? What if it's the entire point? The mystics saw the Qalb not as something to be controlled, but as a mirror. A divine mirror designed to reflect the very nature of reality. But over time, through our experiences, our traumas, our compromises, our fears, that mirror gets covered in dust. Each disappointment adds a layer. Each time we betray our own intuition, a smudge appears. Every moment we choose the comfortable lie over the difficult truth, the mirror grows dimmer. Soon it reflects nothing but a distorted, foggy image of ourselves. We look into our own hearts and see only confusion, fear, and emptiness. And so we stop looking. We turn away, towards the noise of the outside world, distractions, ambitions, possessions, anything to avoid confronting that dull, lifeless reflection. This is the great tragedy of the modern soul. We are exiles from our own inner kingdom. The great poet Rumi wrote, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." He wasn't just talking about romantic love. He was talking about the love of truth, of beauty, of connection, of the divine spark within. The barriers he speaks of are the layers of dust on the mirror of the Qalb. Our ego, our Nafs, is the master barrier builder. Think of your heart, your Qalb, as a magnificent ancient castle. You are the rightful ruler of this castle. It contains vast libraries of wisdom, beautiful gardens of peace, and impenetrable walls of strength. But long ago, a cunning and persuasive courtier, the ego, began to whisper in your ear. It told you that the gardens were dangerous, that the library was full of nonsense, and that true safety lay not within the castle walls, but in gaining the approval of the villagers outside. It promised you recognition, power, and admiration if you would just follow its advice. And slowly, piece by piece, you abdicated your throne. Now the ego runs the castle, paints over the beautiful murals with gaudy portraits of itself. It locks the library doors and tells you all the answers are found in the fleeting opinions of others. It lets the gardens wither and tells you that vulnerability is weakness. You, the true king or queen, are now living in a small, forgotten room in the servants' quarters, believing you are small and powerless. And the ache you feel, that sense of being a stranger in your own life, is the castle itself groaning under the mismanagement of a usurper. It's the distant, muffled memory of who you truly are, calling to you from behind the locked doors. So how do we reclaim the throne? This is where the uncomfortable truth comes in. It's a truth that our culture of quick fixes and life hacks will never tell you. The path back to your Qalb is not paved with positive affirmations or forced happiness. The path back is through the pain, the anxiety you feel. That is not your enemy. It is the sound of the locked library door rattling, begging to be opened. The sadness that washes over you for no apparent reason. That is the neglected garden weeping for your return. The anger that erupts from you. It is the righteous fury of the true ruler demanding to be heard. We have been taught to silence these feelings, to numb them. But the mystics teach us to do the opposite, to turn towards them, to listen. The 13th century philosopher Ibn Arabi spoke of the imagination as a bridge between the spiritual and the physical. He understood that our deepest feelings are not random chemical reactions. They are messages. They are the language of the soul, spoken through the Qalb. To listen is to sit with the discomfort, to ask your anxiety, not how do I get rid of you, but what are you trying to protect me from? To ask your sadness, not why won't you leave me alone, but what is the loss you are grieving? This is the polishing of the mirror. It is a slow, often painful act of spiritual archaeology, scraping away the layers of dust, not with violence, but with the gentle cloth of awareness, compassion, and radical honesty. And here is the most profound secret of the Qalb. It is not just a mirror, it is a compass, but it doesn't point north. A magnetic compass is useful in the physical world because it points to a fixed external point. It helps you navigate the outside. The Qalb, the heart's compass, is different. It doesn't point to one fixed truth out there. It points inward. It points towards your truth, your unique path, your alignment with the divine flow of your own existence. And because you are always growing and changing, the needle is always moving. This is why it can feel so confusing. One day, your heart's compass might point towards solitude and reflection. The next, it might point towards community and bold action. One moment it tells you a relationship is your safe harbor. The next, it reveals it as a cage. The ego wants a GPS. It wants turn-by-turn directions. It wants a guaranteed, pre-planned route to a destination called happiness. But the soul, the raw, thrives on the journey. It wants a compass. It trusts that if you can learn to read the subtle shifts of the needle, you will always be guided, even through the thickest fog, even in the darkest storm. Living by this compass is terrifying. It means letting go of certainty. It means trusting a feeling, an intuition, a subtle inner knowing over the loud, demanding logic of the ego and the world. It means choosing the path that feels true, even when it makes no logical sense. It is the highest form of courage. So look at your life right now. The job that drains your soul but pays the bills. The relationship that feels safe but keeps you small. The secret dream you've called unrealistic for so long, you've almost forgotten it exists. Hey, these are not just life circumstances. These are conversations your Qalb is trying to have with you. The friction you feel is the needle of your compass scraping against the casing of your life, telling you, you are off course. Not wrong, not bad, just off course. The journey to unlock the secrets of the Qalb is not about becoming a perfect person. It is about becoming a whole person. It's about integrating the light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow, the certainty and the doubt. It's about having the courage to finally look into that mirror, see the dust and the smudges. And instead of turning away in shame, picking up a cloth and gently, patiently beginning to polish, you are the ruler of an inner kingdom you have forgotten you own. Your life, right now, is a map. And every feeling of discomfort, every pang of longing, every moment of quiet desperation, that is not a sign that the map is wrong. It is the compass, your Qalb, your heart of hearts, trying to show you the way home. The only question is, after all this time, are you ready to listen?